are you, bro?
Good, good. How are you?
Very good, very good.
Good. Excellent. Excellent.
Yes, happy Friday.
Hey, good evening, guys. All the way from
Hey,
Singapore here.
good evening, good evening. How are you? Doing good?
Good. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Perfect, perfect. Doing absolutely perfect.
Good morning.
Good evening here.
Good evening, good evening. Looks like GBGPY, our friend, is at a support over here, and if you break the support, 135,650, we're moving all the way down to correct this move. Probably down to here, 135,300. I won't be surprised if you come down towards 135,300. How far is that? 30 pips away. It's not that bad. 30 pips is pretty easy for GPGPY. 30 pips is not bad, mate. Let's take a look here. Yeah, nice. It's breaking down. I have entries from like 135, 719, 720. If it closes like this, I think the next candles should start coming down. Man, I woke up at London session. I looked to see if I could enter for the break down here, but there was nothing. Now we're breaking here. Yeah, I think we should continue down. At least I'd say 135, 400 would be a pretty good target here. Like 15, 20 pips away. $6.19. New candle's about to start. This candle's about to close. 15-minute candle's breaking below this support right over here. The only problem is approaching this area of support right here as well. But looking on the 30-minute, we are basically closing below this area. So the next 30-minute candle should retrace a little bit and then continue moving bearish. Ooh, it closed with no wick on the top, on the bottom. Big problem. Yeah, this should continue down. Downtown. 135, 400 should be the target here. Correcting this whole move from yesterday. Because this was interest rates. And then oh, nice. Look at that.
Wow, it's wild.
Yeah, beautiful.
Good morning, by the way, everybody.
Hey. Very nice. 135, 400 should be the target right here. What's the problem when the wick candle close with no wick? Oh, there's no problem. This is just a 50-50 chance. But since the volume is so much here, we're breaking below this area. So now we should continue down, correct this whole move, clean candle here to the left-hand side. Someone is asking gold is bullish or bearish. Pretty much gold is bullish for the last couple days over here. I mean, gold is extremely bullish over here. There's nothing on gold that says sells. I mean, if you're taking sells, you're probably waiting for something really good to happen for the US dollar. So far, there's nothing good happening. A lot of uncertainty around. I joined 2 minutes too late for the move. It was basically expected. You know, once price break below 135,660, it was expected it should continue moving down. Been watching it since yesterday. Woke up in London session, saw a rejection here, candle closed above. I was like, yeah, you know what? It's just rejecting there. And then pre-New York came up in this candle. So basically what happened was look on the 15-minute. You know, 15-minute couldn't break up over here. We're looking at the 1 hour here too. 1 hour was coming down as well from a big rejection at London Open. And then going down to the 30-minute time frame. This 30-minute candle was closing bearish below these candles here to the left-hand side. Just closed like a doji. And it was just a matter of fact that how willing you are to put on the risk. You know, are you a betting man? Are you man enough to bet on the fact that this should continue down in pre-New York now? Beautiful.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, we're coming down. It's a nice move. Up around 20 pips over here. Did you take the sell trade? Yes. I took it from 135, 713, 712. Ooh, wow, look at that.
Damn.
Look at that move. Insane. Come on, straight down.
I love clean candles.
Yeah, gotta love clean candles. Whoever's in this trade, put your stops at break even and let the whole thing run. Target city is right here, 135, 400. If we continue down to fill this whole range, that's a bonus play right here. That's a bonus play if we fill the whole range. Why do you have the zone set at 400? Because of this area right over here to the left hand side, that it may cause some sort of a rejection. It may cause some sort of rejection. But like since we already dropped this much, I think there should be some sort of a small time frame consolidation. It may happen. We may pull back a little bit, create minor resistance, and then continue moving down. Did you put your stop loss at 30-minute candle, or I had it at the 30-minute candle? I had it above this 30-minute candle around 9-10 pips, and really anticipated the NY volume to continue and break below this area.
Very nice.
Yes. Yeah, I think if it's going to continue down, if the weekly is going to continue, I think it's way too much to ask for GG to come down towards 135, 100. Yeah, I think it's way too much to ask. You think if Biden win, gold will go back to 2000? Yeah, I think so. I think so, pretty much. I mean, their policies are aligned around gold going to 2000.
That was your prediction from election day on Tuesday.
Yeah, Biden in the lead.
Yes.
Buy gold.
Exactly.
Yeah, looking at the weekly, it's coming up now. There's a big zone at 1966. Looking at the daily as well, it's approaching a resistance at around 1960. Plus we got NFP here. Let's take a look at this. They're looking at bad numbers. I think these numbers are going to be super bad. They won't just be bad, but they'll be like super duper bad. What happened yesterday? Yesterday we had unemployment claims. They were bad. ADP was also bad. I think NFP will be super bad here. Man, this will be super bad. Wouldn't be surprised if, NFP is bad and gold continues on towards 1962. Man, what a move that's going to be on gold. Let's take a look at this. Had a sell stop below the previous wicks with the target at 10 pips in the trade for about 2 minutes, but waited for 2 hours or so. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I had to sell a little bit early. I had to sell around, 135, 713. What I was looking at was, let's just remove all this here. What I was looking at was that this candle here, the 30-minute candle, was closing below this previous most recent support, right? Looking left, there's also some sort of a support right here as well. It closed below. This candle closed below this here as well. So once this started coming down, I was like, okay, you know what? What's the probability that can continue down to, well, you have a support right over here, right? What's the probability this can continue down to not even this support, but to fill these wicks here to the left hand side? Because, if price is going to be in momentum, we know when price is in momentum, wicks always get filled, right? So once we were breaking down, I was like, okay, what's the probability it can continue down to fill these wicks? So, In my case, I was like, okay, there's a higher probability for that to happen. So that's why I took a sell right around here, 135.713, had stop above the current 30-minute candle and expected it to continue down. And we're breaking that support there as well. This was a very, very strong support, 135.650. You can see here we held it at London Open on 5th November, held it all throughout New York session and London close. So now once we've broken it, I think there should be some sort of a minor resistance formed and then a continuation down. Yeah, a continuation back down. What gave you the confidence to sell on a bullish candle at daily support? I waited for a close below, looking to sharpen up my entry strategy. I didn't enter in a bullish candle on daily support. I entered right over here. I explained it. I explained the whole thing. Let's take a look at this thing here. 18 pip stop above 30-minute candle. Oh, nice. Well done. Entered at the break over there. Looks like some people got the same trades. Hey, is there no NFP today or not this time around? That's a incorrect statement to make. There is NFP today. If you go to forexfactory.com, you'll see that there is NFP today at 8:30 a.m. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. Ooh, Euro USD. Enter after bullish breakout candle with beautiful wick. Only entered with lower risk because it's a breakout candle. TP. Ooh, TP after a few seconds. Nice. A lot of volume here. Lots of volume here. See, this is the thing. When there's a lot of volume in the market and you get opportunities to, secure trades in about like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, that's a wonderful feeling. That's actually a very, very wonderful feeling. This week has been my first week ever only using the strategy I've learned in your live stream. It's the only week I've had 5 winning days in a row. Oh, nice. 5 winning days in a row. $19.56. See, what I'm thinking about gold is, now, if they're expecting bad numbers, will gold continue moving bullish to say that that bad numbers news is going to be priced in? That's what I'm thinking. Or will we retrace to form some sort of support to push up with the bad NFP? So there's going to be a waiting involved over here. This also is a Friday, so I would really suggest anyone who's taking losses, 1 or 2 losses, or anyone who has taken 2 trades today or 3 trades today to just call it a week. Because, it's a Friday and there's no use to really, really chase trades today. No trade for me, ended the week out in profits. Oh, beautiful. Best investment I ever made, hit my weekly goal and everything. That's amazing. That's an amazing feeling when you hit your weekly goal and you're like, okay, you know what? I'm done now for the day, for the week. Can you please look at my trade and tell me what to improve? All right, let's take a look here. Oh, wrong chart. Coming from the gulag. I don't expect anything less. All right, what do we have here? Gold took a buy when broken closed above the highs over here. Expect bullish momentum. Will be managing trade according to the range resistance to the left based on momentum bullish. Nice. Whoever's buying gold with eyes closed in times when there's volume in the market, you're getting a good run with gold. I closed my positions on GJ and I'm going to hunt if we're going to do some sort of a retest for a continuation down or not. And if you do that retest or create that minor resistance to continue down, I think that's going to be another wonderful continuation on GJ. So we'll have to wait. I mean, I'll have to wait. Man, good thing this week is coming to an end. This was a behemoth of a week. I mean, such crazy week. Look here on the calendar. Look at this. Starting from Monday. Monday was like almost nothing. And then boom, elections. Boom, NZD unemployment. And then we had ADP on Wednesday. Thursday, we had rates for the pound. We had rates for the dollar. Man, we had unemployment claims for the dollar. On Friday, now we have NFP. We're moving into the last day of this week here with NFP, and I really, really hope no one's trying to overtrade here today. Like, especially we have new traders here in this live stream as well. So I think it's going to be pretty good to just stay calm. Hey, looking at 15-minute plus 30-minute, 135.610 should be the support. Correct me if I'm wrong. 135.610. Yeah, see now, this was a support right over here, right? You have to look at the most recent price action and see what's going on, right? So if you backtrack these candles, it's always important to backtrack these candles. So backtracking these candles, we see this candle breaking a support because look, price came down, bearish. So whoever was wondering how it took the sells, this is very important. Bearish, you had a bullish candle forming, boom, support formed, right? You got a support form right over here. And this support kind of aligns with this support here as well. Okay, perfect. We got a support form on a 30-minute time frame. Next candle, so this candle went up. This candle moved down and it broke below the support, right? So what happened? It broke below an area where the previous candles thought there was support at 135.750. It closed below the support. Next 30-minute candle formed. It went bullish, but it closed below the support as well. So now if we go back, and if we look at, there was another situation like this. There was another situation. I can't find it. Was it yesterday? No, I can't find it. So basically, okay, let's take a look at the 30-minute here again. So basically, this candle also closed bullish, but it closed below 135.750. Once it closed below 135.150, so we're like, okay, you know what? We're in a bearish momentum, and price should be continuing bearish. Okay, so what are the targets? So if the next candle, this was the pre-New York. Normally, this is when we have like some sort of volume in New York. So we're like, okay, if this is going to continue down, how far can it continue down to? So we start measuring the range here, right? So maybe it's going to continue down till this support over here, but if there's volume, it should continue down till this to fill this wick here to the left hand side, like around 135.530. Eventually it didn't even come down to 135.530, but it came further down to 135, 460 here, around 25 pips deep. So that was the way I was able to catch these sells. Plus, also it was based on experience as well, because like once you look at one pair, once you look at one time frame at the same time, you start to understand that okay, this is going to be some sort of volume, during those times. So right now, price is moving up. People in the gulag are talking about buys. I think buys are going to be valid if we come above 135.870. Right now, this rejection, this move up, it could be like a little retracement for price to create like a minor resistance and then continue moving bearish. So whoever's trying to make like big trades today, don't do that. Do not focus on making big trades today. Let's take a look at this chart here. So we're gonna wait for NFP here, or if we do create some sort of bearish indications that price will continue down, we're gonna take that sell as well. Let's take a look at this chart. This is New Zealand JPY, shorted where the red arrow starts, currently in small profit, but I'm skeptic. It's resisting this bullish trend line. Yeah, I mean, you should put your stops at break even and let the whole thing run. I mean, at the same time, I think you should have waited for this support to break right over here. The support right here. You should have waited for this to break. And then you got clean candle here to the left hand side. So you gotta zoom in here a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Kind of like zoom in. And then take a look at that. What's the most risk you ever had in a trade after meeting Ted and getting good at it? The most risk I've done is this week. Yeah, most risk I've done is this week. Basically doubled my account. Haven't really doubled it, like less than doubled it. How do you know there's a momentum? How do we know there's momentum? Is because of the time. Look at the time. It's 6:48 a.m. Don't you think there's going to be momentum at this time? Momentum and volume at this time, right? Because markets are opening up right now. So we look at the 15-minute time frame. We're kind of creating that bearish candle. If this candle closes bearish, I think we should continue moving bearish. Looking at the 5-minute here as well, it's really important for this candle to close. Because if we close below, man, we're going to continue down. This is going to be a very, very good run down till 135.400. Extremely good run till 135.400. Let's take a look at this chart here. Where is Jeevan? Jeevan is going to be here soon. Don't worry. We're going to have NFP. It's going to be a beautiful thing here. What's this? My bias is bearish. Low created. Support formed. Resistance formed. Looking for sell when the candle flips bearish at resistance. The range is 29 pips. Should be enough for the price to retest the low. Waiting for candle to break the support. Respect. Range is 39.7 pips. First trade was a missed trade. Okay. Take this, I expect the price to correct. Yeah, so now basically waiting to see if we're going to create some more bearish confirmations here for price to continue down. I kind of want to take an impulse sell right over here with the 8 pip stop, but at the same time, man, this candle's open. But what I've seen is that this candle structure usually does continue down to fill this wick. Like this candle here, this candle means like a booby trap candle, kind of like a fake bullish candle, thinking that price is going to go up. You know, so this I'm willing to watch it to continue down to fill this wick and continue on to 135.400. What are the important things to note for next election? What are the important things to note for the next election? Man, next election is 4 years away. So we're probably going to start thinking about next election until we get to probably September 2024. So I think that's when we can talk about that next election. In 2024. Yeah, so mark it down in your calendar and we're gonna come back at it. Let's take a look here. This is GJ 30-minute chart waiting for 15-minute to reject. Lower low. Oh, this analysis is from the past. Yeah, it's from the past. So still got 8 minutes left for this candle to close. Man, if it closes bearish, we're going all the way down. Boom. 465 and then boom. I'd say 135.420. Coming down to 135.420. When compounding an account and you over exceed your weekly goal, would you take those extra funds out with your weekly withdrawal or leave it in the account to compound more? I think I'm going to withdraw. You should always withdraw. Withdrawing is very, very important. Like, you know, you have to withdraw. It's very important. I withdrew most of my money from Vantage FX. What I had left was around like 10,000. So traded with that this week. It went really well, man. This week was amazing. Amazing returns this week. 4 years ago, I sat out the election week and just watched it, studied it, prepared, and man, this week really paid me. So, you know, had to wait 4 years. Who will take over when Biden carks it? I think Kamala Harris will come in when Biden carks it.
Hey, rakeel, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Good, good. So this is Jeevan. We have a guest over here for today. He runs the Capital Hungry analysis on YouTube. Really, really knowledgeable person. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put up his YouTube here. So if you go to YouTube and you search Hungry analysis. Yeah, there you
What
go.
are you guys doing? What are you guys talking about?
Oh, nothing, man. Really thinking that GJ should continue down in this New York session.
That would make the most sense, yeah. Japanese yen was holding some strength.
Yeah, I see London didn't really move here. Well, a little bit. You had sells. I think sells consolidation and then should continue bearish.
Yeah, we were trading London session, but we just played the US dollar weakness to help with some gold buys. It ran a lot smoother. Gold buys and like Euro USD, but GJ was just ranging overnight, so we didn't take anything on that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. What's Jeevan's channel name? It's right here on the screen. It says right here. Maybe I should make this.
Huh? Just the YouTube. Just so they could just search Capital Hungry. Something.
Yeah, you
yeah,
know.
what's the topic today? You invited me last minute last night. You're like, let's come on for an NFP stream or something.
Man, the elections. We got a new guy coming in. We haven't traded that guy's regime before. I mean, with the interest rates as well yesterday, nothing really was said. Nothing really happened. You know what I think? I think NFP is going to be really, really bad, so they can rub it in Trump's face.
You think so?
Oh yeah, because ADP was bad. Yesterday we had unemployment that was bad.
No, I was just looking at what are people asking here? So people are asking about the US dollar. You know what I think about this whole, because the US dollar usually behaves as a safe haven, but ever since this whole mess around the US elections, I don't know for everybody else, but it's really shown how unstable the US is. Right? If you guys have noticed that, these elections have really split. I don't know if it's just because it's my first time experiencing elections. Like when we started years ago, Trump was already president, but with these specific elections during the pandemic markets, there's riots going on in the US. You have the country heavily divided, and you're seeing a lot of you're seeing how unstable and how much economic uncertainty in the US there really is. So even though the US dollar is a safe haven currency, the whole election itself is just really decreasing the foreign investment and global demand of the US dollar because of how unstable the US looks in the situation, and because the US dollar is like still heavily oversupplied, right? Because of the Federal Reserve printing since the pandemic markets. So I think if Biden wins, it's gonna not be good for the financial markets or the dollar at all. Like it's not gonna help the U.S. dollar demand come back up, as it's already heavily oversupplied, and the country looks extremely unstable in the situation as it's split up. You have riots going on. You have some people ready for a civil war.
Yeah.
Right. And then similar to what we were talking about a couple of nights ago when we were forecasting if Biden wins. To me, if Biden wins, it's the same as having the Clintons or the Obamas in power as well. It's the same ideologies. So all I could see happening is less positivity for the financial markets, but more potential for physical war with Iran.
Yes.
Right.
And yeah, because like, man, I've never traded during a war. Like as
a
bad as
physical
that,
war, right?
yeah, as bad as that sounds, I think gold's gonna go to 3,000 when that happens.
Yeah, no, 100%. I could see it just continuing up into new all-time highs if we went into a physical war. I think that would be like if Biden does it look like he's gonna win? Is it, or did it didn't get announced yet or anything, right? I was just taking
No.
a quick nap before, but he's in the lead, no?
Oh
With the
yeah,
electoral votes,
he's in a massive lead. They've already briefed him on the country's economic state.
right? So
Yeah, the
most
debriefing has
likely,
been done.
yeah. So most likely, if he is taking over, they'll follow suit. And the Democrats are heavily war friendly. Like they'll just follow suit with what the Clintons and Obamas would have done anyways. And the last left on the list is Iran, who doesn't have a central bank and who controls power and who controls the Strait of Hormuz in the Middle East there. So that's gonna be a major target. That all the peace that Trump was trying to create with Iran and of course like North Korea, Russia, I think that's going to be tossed out the window. The only difference about Iran compared to some of the other previous countries that got raided, such as Afghanistan or such as Iraq, is that Iran does have a bit more backup as per country allies, being Russia. So they do have a little bit more of military support and backup. But 100% if Biden wins, like the American people are just going to be suckered into thinking Iran is a terrorist country, and it's going to follow the same usual pattern as other countries have been labeled as terrorist scapegoat countries, so they can have their citizens supporting them to enter the country and start taking over, put in their puppet government, raid the gold, raid the oil. But it's not about taking the oil supply, which is something we have to discuss too. It's about taking over the global oil demand, right? Because every single country, or most countries produce oil. There's an abundance of oil. It's about who are you going to buy from. So if you could funnel global consumption of oil and demand towards one or two monopoly sources, mainly being like Saudi Arabia and the US continuing to use the US petrodollar, then that brings a lot of power to those countries, right? It brings a lot of power if you can control oil in that sense. So I pretty much think it's going to happen. I pretty much think that is what is going to happen. We've seen it happen. We've seen this repeat in history many, many times now, and it's been going on. It's been going on over the last 20, 30 years, just constantly repeating these same cycles that just happen to line up with economic cycles as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, for people who are wondering why Iran is so important, let me show you right over here.
Yeah, it's all about control over the Strait of Hormuz there, too.
Right there. So what's the channel? This channel right over here?
Let's see here. Your screen's a little bit behind, a little bit lagging on thing, but if you just go towards Iran, just has control over the Strait of Hormuz, which right that whole strait in between there, which connects the like oil transport between many different regions, right?
So just to get it straight, so the oil is basically, this is the main transport hub of oil.
Yeah.
And when they cross through here, this is where Iran basically causes problems for the ships and the containers and whatever they're using to transport oil.
Yeah, but in that area, rightfully so, because they do have control over for like a historical time period right now, right? But
Yes.
Saudi Arabia, who wants to take over global oil demand, they always use the US as a weapon. Saudi Arabia has the US in their pocket as like a military tool and as a weapon. So they always just because it's in the US's best interest to keep oil being sold around the world in US dollars, in petrodollars, in the US petrodollar, right? Yeah. Where when you've seen any country or nation that's wanted to go against that, like if you look at even if some of these people weren't the greatest leaders, I'm just trying to give the information that they were countries that had the resources and tools to go against the US petrodollar. But as soon as they wanted to do that and they made plans on doing that, they get taken out, right? You had Saddam Hussein who wanted to get rid of the US petrodollar. You had Gaddafi who had enough resources and gold to do the same thing and wanted to get rid of the US petrodollar and trade it between their own currency, mostly supported by gold. And you saw the same thing happen in Afghanistan. They got raided for the opium, gold, oil. Iraq, you got raided for all of the US dollars. Saddam Hussein had crates and crates of US dollars, gold, oil supply, of course. And right?
Yeah, like those 12-foot containers. I was reading this article. They had those containers filled with gold and US currency.
Yeah.
Literally filled. So you can just imagine how much money is out there just...
Yeah. Americans hate hearing this because they don't like to be told that they get constantly turned into puppets and just get followed suit for like the mainstream media. And because war is such a big business, right? War is such a big business. Oil is such a huge business as well. So when you control this global resource that 90% of the world runs on, or factories and industries, cars run on, you have a lot of control in the world, right? So
yeah. Yeah, next year is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole point of that is if that does happen, obviously that will bring for us, if there is a physical war, what that would do for us as traders, because let's just say people are saying, oh, this is not going to happen, it might happen, conspiracy, that's fine. But the whole point is if that historical repetition does happen, which we have seen it happen many times before, and there is a physical war going on, us as traders have to understand the market climate, and investor behavior will change to be heavily more fear-filled, and then we will be taking advantage of safe haven currency strength and safe haven strength overall. And especially specifically with war in the Middle East that is around oil, there will be a lot of uncertainty around oil supply and potential supply in the Middle East being damaged, transport areas being damaged, whatever it may be. That, of course, during war drives the price of oil up. So if we do have history repeat in that sense, we do have the U.S. go after coronavirus and everything simmers down, and the U.S. does go back after Iran, because they already did. We almost did have it happen already in the start of 2020. People are saying, "Oh, it's a conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy theory." But if coronavirus didn't come through, that's what started off 2020 was the Iranian general being killed and almost an Iran war popping off, right? I think Trump has been doing a good job of hindering and preventing a lot of this war and a lot of this economic uncertainty for the U.S. and preventing that same repeated cycle, because he's been trying to bring in money through the U.S. through various ways. Instead of raiding a country, he's been trying to create trade deals and go after countries and create better trade deals, so more money comes in the U.S. via customs and duties, right? And then bring more work back into the U.S. But a classic way for the U.S. to get back on top is just raid a country. You get that oil demand, you get that money and everything else as well. But for us, if we have the market environment switched to, and you have that mass market fear regarding over a physical war, it will be very similar to the past financial impacts of physical war, but it would also be similar to what we saw happen at the start scene when we saw gold initially start to inflate when the Iranian general was killed, and we were just first getting signs. Before pandemic, everybody was saying World War III is going to start. World War III is going to start. So, and you saw this mass market fear and uncertainty where your safe haven currencies were inflating, such as the US dollar, the Japanese yen, the Swiss franc, gold as a precious metal was inflating. Even oil at that time, before it went into the negatives, was starting to go more bullish from that uncertainty of potential war in the Middle East.
And then
we had COVID come out instead.
yeah,
Everything went to a standstill. But especially with the Democrats who like have been with war in the Middle East, and every time they have power, like Obama is dropping bombs through his whole entire term when he was in power. I think we're gonna see something like that continue.
yeah.
Yeah,
See,
go ahead.
the Democrats have a lot of experience with wars. That's the thing. Have a lot of experience with wars, and the wars they've done in the past, they've done them. So now, if you look at it this way, right? The first time they went into Iraq, there was a big backlash, right? There was a huge backlash. Then they went in Syria. It was like a little bit like, like constricted, like it wasn't. They didn't make a lot of noise. So I think they've learned from all those invasions. So once they do decide to go into Iran, it's going to be like a very subtle change.
Yeah, that's true too. It might not be as aggressive as what we have seen in the past, but I think it's 100% going to happen again.
This guy watches too many conspiracy videos. No, it's not about conspiracy videos. It's about opening your eyes and just looking what's happened in the past.
Somebody says I watch too many conspiracy. Well, Gulag Chat got, you know what I mean, the lower IQ as well. So I don't expect the Gulag Chat to, like, as soon as they hear this the first time, to go, oh shit, that could be true.
Yeah,
it's not what they see when they go watch the news and watch CNN. But if you look at history, if you look at historical repetition and what the goals of this war always is, war is a business, right?
Yeah.
So to say war is a conspiracy theory, that's what you're trying to say right now. You're trying to tell me that war is a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess if you guys think wars, if there hasn't been any wars or that historical repetition before, then I didn't say Trump was 100% towards peace, but I just said he did do a lot to try to bring peace with these different countries, such as North Korea or with Russia, and even with Iran. He actually didn't want to go with the full-blown attack or war with Iran, but Biden 100% will. Biden and his team 100% will.
You're 100% correct about that.
Yeah.
The main guy behind all this peace, like during the Trump regime, his son-in-law Kushner, he was the one behind doing these peace treaties, like with Russia and especially North
Korea, right?
North Korea, yeah, exactly. I mean, no presidency has done as many peace treaties as Trump's administration. People don't look at that. I mean, that's not even on the mainstream media right now.
Yeah.
Kushner has.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like, you remember in 2018 and 2016 and sometime in 2017, man, Kim Jong-un was going off the hook, dropping bombs, throwing missiles over Japan, over a country. Man, it was so close. Japan announced a lockdown. They were like, "Oh, we're going into lockdown. This guy's throwing bombs over us."
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Kushner has a really good interview on Ben Shapiro's podcast. It's like the first time I've ever actually heard him talk, and it's just going through all these peace deals and how they got it to happen. It's pretty interesting.
But we'll see how it develops. I don't want to fight anybody in the gulag, but if you see a war in Iran and it comes through, I want a formal apology by every single person. in the chat, and then to turn around and say, "Oh shit!" But anyways, the whole point of that is it's not to say, "Oh, this is gonna happen," or the conspiracy. It's just to say that if we have that real world historical repetition of war, because war is a business and it does repeat with economic cycles as well, we as traders are going to have to understand how the market environment is going to shift, how our safe haven currencies are going to be stronger. We're most likely going to be playing bearish structure during a time like that when we're trading GBP, JPY on the intradays. It's going to be easier to sell that pair. You know what I mean? Like, it's just something that we should be aware of on a macro perspective and understand if it does happen, what the financial impact will be. And then alongside like some technical analysis and that historical repetition, you can execute trades, understanding the investor behavior and sentiment at that time, right? And for anybody who wants examples of that, of how, oh shit, news doesn't matter. I trade 10 pips or I trade 15 pips. Like, none of this shit matters to me. If you want to see how economic data or investor behavior is used to execute on trades, we do live streams at London as well, like using news, using like a live news terminal and those data report or economic data report releases, like understanding investor sentiment and bias. So it's pretty good. If people want more information on that, then they can go look into that themselves. But most people lack the effort to do that, but it's up to them.
Holy 6,000 views. Okay.
But there's a lot of webinars there.
Live sessions for London. Nice. Shout out to Gulag's family. High five. Oh, Gulag is there too.
Nah. You know how you call your chat the Gulag?
Yeah.
We call our chat the market refugees, the refugees.
The refugees seeking asylum.
the refugees seeking their freedom. You know what I mean? Trying to find like just a place to live. Yeah, but we'll see how that goes. What do you think? What do you think, though?
Man,
do you think it's a conspiracy? All that
oh no, it's true.
The war stuff in the Middle East, or
it's 100% true. What's been running through my mind is if that does happen, how am I going to align myself in really profiting off those moves, which we're going to see 100% exactly on gold. But so far when it comes towards NFP here in about like an hour, I was thinking that if they will have bad NFP, gold should move up to kind of like price that in. But if it's coming down, maybe it may reject 1942 to continue moving bullish with NFP. But it's also very uncertain all the time.
Gold's still looking quite bullish, like even over London session. As long as the dollar stays weak and continues down, which is it's quite bearish right now. The dollar should I could see gold squeezing up as long as it remains above like those 52 highs we have marked out. Maybe if it does a liquidity grab to retest those highs again, and just that New York session, and then continue back up.
Why does Biden wants to take all the oil fields in the U.S. and make electric?
No politician wants to take out all the oil fields.
Yeah, it's not going to work. He wants to eliminate all fossil fuels, and 80% of world's energy runs on fossil fuels.
I think they also say a lot of these things like just to get votes in different, like, you know what I mean, during the actual presidential race. Like when they say that, when he says something like that, you're trying to get all the environmentalists to vote on your side, all the people that are pro green and everything. They're not actually, and no U.S. political leader is going to get rid of oil.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, talking about GJ here. GJ has made a low here successfully. So a break of this low would mean price are going to go down. Like this candle was about to break the low, but obviously had to wait for the candle to close. So you have to wait for this low to break for price to continue down.
Safer sells below 0.500 now at this point.
Yeah.
Gold gold just retesting those highs as well, around 52, 51. But if it breaks back below and goes back into that range, best just to stay out of it. Otherwise, if I start to see some exhaustion on the lower time frame as it's like revisiting these highs, but I already traded London too.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? Before NFP, I'm going to have buy stops and sell stops above a 30-minute candle.
Just to play it safe, just in case.
Just to play it safe.
Yeah.
Just to see if I can get that spike or not. How often do you... Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
I know. I was just asking if there's any refugees in the chat. Like, but do your thing. I'll be back in 1 second. I'm just going to go to the washroom quickly.
Okay. Look at that. Now G just breaking down. Now it broke the low. Now there's a high probability for it to continue down towards 135.400. Oh, wow. Look at that move. Yeah, it should continue down here. Isn't Iran part of OPEC and it has a president that the United States doesn't control? Yes, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. When they cannot control someone or they cannot control a country or a leader, that's when they want total control. That's the whole idea. Like the New World Order revolves around those ideas, that the New World Order is to have just one order and everyone just like following those orders. So it's like a huge global mafia. Like if you don't do what we say, or if you don't adhere to the restrictions we have, then that's it. And someone, look at this, GJ. I closed my thing right over here. The way the price is moving right now, if you're over trading or you're stuck in trades, man, you need to stop. Just stop the bleeding, because it's not going to help you. I mean, I expected it to continue down, but it's rejecting here, and maybe it's rejecting this wick over here. I got out with like $0 at this point. So whoever's trying to chase trades or chase positions, just stop. It's a Friday. This week was a pretty crazy week with like the news we had, and like a lot of people,
all the stuff going on.
Bro, a lot of people lost a lot of money, and since last week, I've been telling people just to sit out this week.
Nobody. If you tell people that, they want to do the opposite two times.
Yeah, they want to do the opposite. I did really well this week because I watched like last elections. I waited, I prepared, so I did really well. Like someone who started Forex for the first time this week. Oh man, you got blown out of the water.
They had a rough time.
A really rough time.
Somebody said, I thought NFP is a US statistic. Why would GJ get affected? It won't have a direct impact on GBP, of course, but the secondary in that pair is the Japanese yen, which is a safe haven currency. So just through a New York session, if let's just say the NFP was really good, it would actually take away some strength from the Japanese yen and bring a little bit of short-term optimism to the New York session. But that, of course, can get waved off quick due to what's going on with the elections. But it wouldn't have a direct, as strong of an impact on GBP JPY. It just more has a lingering effect on the yen because the yen's a safe haven currency. Somebody was asking that.
Hey bro, you started reading this question but stopped. Oh, just wondering how often should people do withdrawals? Is it better to do it on a weekly, monthly? Thanks. I normally do it like monthly. Now I do it monthly. Before I used to do it bi-weekly because I wanted to get like a bi-weekly pay, but now I just do it monthly.
Refugees.
Refugees.
Yeah, refugees ain't good this week, on the London streams. Told you guys we do the London streams twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if anybody wants to see how we get down, you got questions, you can check that out.
Yeah, I think that's good. Tuesdays and Thursdays. It kind of like makes that special. Only 2 days out of the week.
Yeah, trust me, these guys go crazy for it.
Maybe I should just do 1 day out of the week, make it more special.
Yo, these guys have a mental breakdown without Coach Roger Banks.
Outside my window throwing stones, yo.
Yeah, this guy checked out the window.
What is a good weekly percentage to goal? I'm 5 months in, but still struggling with consistency. Yeah, I think if you're losing trades, you really need to see if you're losing trades, to see that how could you have had the winning trade? Was it something you missed? Was it something you overlooked? Was there volume in the market at that time? Were you over trading? Were you over risking? You know, like as simple as it sounds, it's really easy to go into your third trade and the fourth trade. Someone just asked, what is your YouTube name? It's written right here on the bottom left screen right here. Like, are people using different colored glasses? I mean, you got black paint on your glasses? Can't people see things written on the screen? YouTube guest, capital hungry analysis.
Miguel, sorry, I just had a question about the psychological levels. Like, I think you're talking about like GJ, for example, like the PPLs a lot of people have been using. I keep those in mind, but I use those price points to watch reaction on the lower time frame alongside like intraday analysis, market structure, key levels, and price action, and like investor behavior, sentiment. Like I like to keep an eye on how global equities and stock market are looking, or how the safe haven currencies are looking standalone. It's a bit hard to describe right now, but you could recap some of the live streams. They're like 4 hours long too, and there's a lot of trade ideas and analysis discussed there, where we also like break down the headlines and economic data reports, and you'll see how we use the psychological price levels like as a confirm alongside the other pieces of information to give us more confidence when we're executing. Hey, Jeev, Democrats make the markets bullish compared to how Republicans make the markets range. No, I think that depends on the leader themselves and how involved they are in the markets. Like, for example, when we saw Trump for the last 4 years, he's brought a lot of gains to like the U.S. stock markets. Obviously, they got taken out by the pandemic, but that wasn't his fault. If you saw before pandemic markets, and it was expected that crash was going to happen to have the major transfer of wealth globally, and just because this economic cycle repeats every 10 to 15 years, like when we had the '08 crash. But it really just depends on the political leader themselves. Trump personally was very business minded, and he was always promoting stock market growth and different potentials for economic gains, like trade wars that were always going on, bringing volatility. Even though a lot of people saw him as a bad guy when he was doing stuff like the tariff man, or like when they're calling him the tariff man, or like they're seeing all the trade wars as negative, and even linking the name war to it made it very negative in the media, and they painted a bad picture around him. He's just going to different countries and discussing new trade deals to bring more money into the US, via customs and duties, because the US is always in such a deficit with their budget every single month, right? So it wasn't really trade wars. There's nothing that negative about it. He's just going to revise a lot of trade deals that have been very negative for the US for an extended period of years that other political leaders haven't really done anything about, right?
Yeah, maybe because that wasn't on their agenda to like renew the deals or to rehash certain points. Because obviously when Trump came, he saw these deals and he's like, well, we could have better deals. And I think the mainstream media, they kind of quoted those whole meetings as trade wars. Oh, right? Trump's starting
anything. Exactly. Anything he did, they would paint it in a bad light with the mainstream media, even though he's bringing his business mind into the presidency and trying to improve the U.S. economy by creating more jobs or bringing more jobs back to the U.S. and having more money come in via the customs and duties with better trade deals with countries around the world, because the U.S. used to be such a hub for international business. And one of the reasons the U.S. dollar is a safe haven currency is because it's the world's reserve business currency. A lot of international business is still exchanged in U.S. dollars. So it has that bit of importance there. So
man, I was reading what was happening was that once Trump came in, he fired all the lobbyists, like on his Senate there. He fired all the lobbyists because he figured out that most of these people, they had backdoor deals, right? Because like normally when they'd have a president, they don't have much power. All the power there with the lobbyists, because They want to, like, put forth their own agendas. So Trump said, okay,
Yeah, they put
like,
the money up.
yeah, exactly. So Trump came in. Trump said, all right, all you guys are fired. My family is going to come in. And I don't know why. I think that's one thing people hold that against him, because even though he fired the lobbyists, when his family came in, like his daughter, his son-in-law, super smart people, they brought their own agendas and they did their own lobbying, behind his back.
Yeah.
And when the media found it, they're like, okay, yeah, like, what Trump did is for his favor. But poor Trump, he didn't know they'd do those deals.
Yeah, exactly. It's all so corrupt, right? That's what
Yeah.
he's calling when he called it like draining the swamp. Remember
Yeah.
that whole thing? And somebody said, does bad NFP mean bullish indexes? If you're talking about like the US stock market specifically, like if you're trading the NASDAQ or Dow Jones, a bad NFP, a bad US jobs data report will actually be bad for US stock market as well, because it's signaling at economic weakness in the US and less job creation overall. So it would be bad for the US 30 if you're trading the US 30 and NFP is really poor.
All right. Kind of looks like it as well, like a structure here.
Yeah, it looks like it just did a retest of that previous level. 28K though is a really important level that has still been sitting above though. But for an intraday trade, especially coming towards the end of the week, get a lot of these buyers that were in Dow Jones closing off some positions, and if NFP is poor, it makes sense for that pullback and a bit of correction. Somebody said gold melting. It felt like 10 pips.
Yeah, we're coming down to this important level here on gold.
Michael, that's a good question. Why does some bad news make the US dollar go bullish? Because bad news or poor economic data causes uncertainty with investor behavior, and the US dollar is a safe haven currency. The only reason the US dollar has been softer through the elections is because foreign investors and global investors see that the US political situation is very unstable, and the US dollar is already heavily oversupplied from Federal Reserve printing during the pandemic markets when that all started, and they started injecting the financial markets like the stock markets, of course. So the US dollar is heavily oversupplied, and the demand has been dropping a bit more due to the instability with the US elections. But on normal conditions, if we didn't have the US elections going on, the US dollar, because it's the world's reserve currency, behaves like a safe haven currency, similar to like the Japanese yen or the Swiss franc. So when you have really negative economic data reports, then it changes investor behavior. It brings it more to the fear-filled side, and you would see like a drop in equities and more currency inflow into your safe haven currencies. So you see the Japanese yen standalone pick up some strength, the US dollar, the Swiss franc start to pick up some strength as well. But yeah, absolutely. I think, Matt, because Biden wants to increase corporate taxes, that if he gets elected, investors in the US stock market will actually see some more uncertainty. Like, for example, I don't know if you guys read, but before Biden's getting elected now, Jeff Bezos sold like $3 billion in Amazon stocks. He dumped more Amazon stocks. And in the last few times he's dumped a lot of Amazon stocks and cashed out was once before the pandemic hit and the crash happened, then again like in March, and now again recently as well. So I think because Biden wants to increase corporate tax, and obviously the US corporate world wouldn't like that. If he does get elected, it will bring some uncertainty to the financial markets and possibly get a drop from these record highs we're sitting at. Like we are sitting back above, like towards the highs, especially post-pandemic crash. We did a full V-shaped recovery on the US stock market as the Fed started injecting the economy, right? That's one of the reasons the US dollar got so bearish and so heavily oversupplied, was because of that injection and to save the US corporate world.
Right here.
Right? Yeah.
This whole injection.
Yeah. So the Federal Reserve, they rather sacrifice inflation of the US dollar and the US dollar being weak short term, rather than having the stock market crash and all the different corporations involved in the stock market and in the US going bankrupt? Would you rather print more US dollars and inflate your market and create this artificial market to keep these corporations afloat and still healthy in a sense and keep America running? Or would you rather let the stock market actually have a crash to the point where all those companies would go bankrupt, and then you would have a real US economic depression in that sense, right? So the Feds obviously did what they used, one of their tools, which is printing more US dollars, and they flooded the equity markets, and then you saw that historical repetition of what happened. The same thing, the 2008 financial collapse happened, right? You saw that crash and then that recovery a short period after.
We have a question in here. I bought gold now. Is this all right?
It's looking pretty good. Just the I think the new 30 just opened up without a lower wick. I would just keep an eye on that. But it did do that. It did retest those previous highs.
From a discipline,
from a scalp perspective, it's a pretty rush, trade. You got a nice scalp out of it if you entered right at like 1951 there. You're up 30 pips, but I would just keep an eye till NFP though. You know,
yeah, that's the only thing that's keeping me away from gold so far. We know Raja looks for 10 pips on the trade. Are you the same kind of trader? Do you look to scalp 10 pips per trade?
I don't think he does secure at 10 pips, but he does his analysis for, of course, similar to what I do when you're looking at because obviously Raja comes on around 6:30, starts looking at the charts before New York session, and he starts to look at different ranges he can play with and he can execute on. If he can leave runners, he'll leave those runners, but he at least secures 10 pips. We do something similar on the London session where our primary goal when we're trading and scalping with the London session volume and looking at the market volatility is to protect our capital. But depending on the market conditions, there are times when we just secure 10 pips and play it safe, but primarily we do like to play like intraday ranges if the market structure, volatility, and volumes allow that. But if you want an example of the trades we take on the stream, I've already done like 7 streams total. You guys can watch those. They've been getting pretty good feedback. Like some of them get like 5K views already. So if you guys want to go watch those and take some notes.
6K.
Right? Oh, Mac, how's it going?
Hey, dude.
Look who it is. This guy.
Yeah, but I still
awake.
secure, like 10, 15 pips on, even though we know that we gotta get like maybe 30 pips, 40 pips.
Yeah.
Still secure 10, 15.
What time is the stream? Can't find any info on that. See, the thing is, Jeevan is not on Instagram. That's why we can't find any information.
I have I have a Twitter. Go to the Capital Hungry YouTube page right now.
All right, let's go.
All right. So I'll show you guys some great resources right now. Ready?
Oh.
Yes, US indexes US indexes move fairly similar just because they have similar fundamental impacts. You'll see that the technical structure on like S&P, Dow Jones, and Nas is pretty similar. Okay, so click the Capital Hungry, the main page, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so at the top right, you see that little Capital Hungry? There's a Twitter. And the top, no, right. Bro, that's your left.
Oh, right here. Bro, it's so small.
I didn't make that YouTube.
It's so small, man.
There's a Twitter, bro. There's a Telegram that has like the free Telegram analysis channel.
Zoom in on
that. So there's this Telegram analysis channel. People can join that, like, you know what I mean, where we post charts, updates about when the live stream and stuff like that will be, of course, right?
Yeah, whoever asks me about fundamentals, I tell them, here, join this channel right here. I send them these links here.
Sean Lee Gold.
Yeah,
the gold cells.
I went into that Twitter account and it's pretty sick. The information there is so sick, man.
The Twitter just post, and then another thing, this Twitter posts headlines all night, like all day and night.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So for anybody who wants to like follow this Twitter page, it's just, if you scroll down, Rakeel is just posting. It's just posting a headline, like financial headline. Like it's faster than Forex Factory and stuff as well.
You put it on automatic here.
Yeah, it's automated.
Oh, nice. That's pretty
Right?
sick. Yeah. Oh shit, it's pretty sick.
It just keeps posting different headlines like every minute.
And then every now and then, hey guys, live stream. Then it's
exactly.
Yeah,
So you have the Capital Hungry free analysis channel. You have the Capital Hungry Twitter, and then the YouTube itself. If I guarantee, if anybody in the gulag watches all the videos in the YouTube, you'll be woke.
Man, I think if anyone here in the gulag is trying to understand at least a little bit of fundamentals, it's pretty good.
Yeah, you have like
Pretty good.
yeah, for sure. You have like educational webinars on like gold, oil, US 30. You have I did like a historical timeline of GJ, how we can still use that information to this date, intraday analysis. There's like a scalping series and all that. You know what I mean? So
This one I was halfway into it. Greatest transfer of wealth in 2020, Dow Jones.
We did that chart high episode 4. We got fried and then talked about
Yeah, chart high episode. You versus who? You versus who? What's your thoughts on holding physical gold? Is it worth buying it? See, I think if you're holding physical gold, that's more for long-term play. You're in for the long term.
Yeah.
Like for gold to go to 2,000 and 3,000, that's a long-term play. Like, think about this. All the Indian aunties and the Pakistani aunties, they have so much gold with them. You know, so they're basically holding physical gold at the same time. Right? I think most people, they hold gold is just to park their money. That's basically, like, it's sort of an investment. It's a very, very slow investment.
Yeah, especially if you're a trader and you have access to trade gold spot, like buying physical gold wouldn't be as worth it because you're buying it for this price you see on the screen. You're buying 1 ounce of gold for $2,000, right?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna wait for it to get to 3,000. Whenever it does, you're gonna sell that to make $1,000 profit on that ounce of gold. Like in reality, where you can just be trading gold spot instead.
If I were to get in GJ sells to 135,400, should I wait for the 15-minute candle to close first? I think you should just sit out on Friday and not take a trade at all. That's what I would advise anyone who's trying to force a trade. Because, I mean, look at GJ, right? We thought it's going to go down, but it went up. I mean, look at it on the 5-minute and look at it on the 30-minute right over here. You know, making these big wicks, retracing, and then moving down.
It's failing to break 0.500. Like if a clean break below 0.500, you're gonna get a melt with this minor liquidity that's being generated. But it'd be safer below 0.500. You could run it down 30 pips if it breaks below 0.500.
That's the signal right there.
If it does, like otherwise, it's just gonna range. We'll see what NFP does.
Some big economists say that we are on the verge of a big collapse and a reset in the economic system. Let's take a look here. We were looking at this the other day. World debt. That's absolutely true. I mean, the economic reset is coming. Take a look at this right here. Was it this link? I think it was the other link. No, it wasn't this link.
The economic reset, we observed it happen. Like when the markets crashed around the world and had that V-shaped recovery, but everybody still lost their jobs, and that was the reset.
All right, take a look at this, Jeevan. Look at this. The world debt, 27 trillion US, 7 trillion China, 2.9 trillion.
Who is all this debt owed to?
Us.
No, who does the US, like the US, who does the US, I know the US owes debt to China.
IMF.
But who else?
IMF.
It's the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
The U.S. owes the debt back to the Federal Reserve, who prints the money out and loans it out to them. It's just like if you guys if you go to your bank and get a loan, and you're gonna get that loan on interest, and then that interest starts to build. The Federal Reserve is who supplies money to the U.S. and that's how these central banks own these countries, is through this debt system. Everybody's an endless debt slave.
So
I have a webinar on that.
so so it's like if let's say I'm IMF, right? I'm IMF and
No,
I've given
the feds.
the feds.
The IMF isn't really shit. It's just like a group to discuss global banking, but it's really the central banks that supply the money to their correlated countries, whether it's the Bank of England to the UK, the Euro Central Bank to Eurozone overall, Bank of Canada to Canada. They're the ones who, quote unquote, print the money, supply the money, dictate the interest rates, say when they're going to do QE, when they're going to raise rates. They're the ones who use all these different tools and watch the economic health, and make their moves. But everybody in essence is just in debt to these central banks and the private central banking system, right?
Is the Federal Reserve privately owned?
It's not owned by anyone. It's not run by the government. It's not run by the U.S. government, U.S. Treasury. It's not owned by. It's owned by a mystery. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
They're the riches, man. Riches on it.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. It's like when I was younger, right? So my dad would come home with like big bundles of cash every day, and he would place them somewhere. And one day I asked him, I'm like, "Where'd you get this money from?" He's like, "Oh, those are questions you're not supposed to ask." So I think that's what Federal Reserve is. Oh, where'd you get all this money from? Federal you don't ask those questions.
The fucked up thing is the Federal Reserve is 1,000% open on the unlimited money printing potential of how they dictate the flow of money.
Yeah.
It's just that the 99%, the sheep, they don't question the dollar that they work for. They don't even know how the dollar they work for even works. They just continue to slave away and work for it, right? But most of each country's debt is owed to their respective central bank. And it's a never-ending circle. So what happens is you have these IOUs with bond buying, and let's just say like all a U.S. government bond. When you hear these fancy words of like, oh, the Federal Reserve bought 15 billion worth of U.S. government bonds, it's just an IOU. The Federal Reserve is printing out money. They are giving it to the U.S. government to use in their economy and to use for their expenses. And you could go to U.S. Treasury and check the balance sheet as well of the U.S. government and the U.S. as a whole. They're always in a deficit. They're never going to ever be able to pay back this debt unless central banks get abolished. That's what like JFK wanted to do, and man got his brains blown out. You know what I mean? But anyways, so when the Federal Reserve buys these government bonds in exchange for US dollars that they are printing, the bond is just an IOU that over 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years, whatever the bond date is set to, with the set interest, that amount is supposed to get paid back to the Federal Reserve. But because the interest keeps adding on and the debt keeps building, and you have this massive corrupt bubble in the US dollar so heavily overinflated, you have the US in trillions of dollars of debt, and they get in more debt every single month. More debt is building up because the country's expenses are way too high and they don't bring enough money in. You know what I mean? The Feds, Reserve Bank of Australia, are not owned by governments. They are not. They're not owned by the governments at all. They work with the governments. They are not owned or operated by the governments. The Reserve Bank of Australia is a separate entity to the Australian government. If you think otherwise, then like you just don't know how it works.
Yeah, because if they keep on printing money, then I guess this world debt reset is inevitable. Because I mean, this can't just go on forever. You just can't have things running in negative forever. The Great Financial Reset, IMF Managing Director calls for look at this. Calls for a new Bretton Woods moment. What was the new Bretton Woods moment? That's another conspiracy theory to walk into. The global economy shuttered from disaster effects of central planning.
Yes, the chairmans, and the people that work together, in the central banks and the government work hand in hand, but it's just one big corrupt system in that sense. The government doesn't want to pay back that debt because most people who are working in the respected government of those countries are working with the central bank. Their pockets are getting lined up. They're fine. They don't care about you or I, right? Like, when has the government ever gave a shit about you?
Oh, you know what's going to happen? Bretton Woods system was the first system used to control the value of money between different currencies. It's to say that if Jeevan, you have money and if I have money, it's basically a deal done that, hey, listen, Jeevan, your money is worth more than my money. It meant that each country had to have a monetary policy that kept exchanges. So, yeah, I don't know if this reset program is going to be to eliminate all debt or to reevaluate the worth of the value of currencies that other countries have. Man, this is something new I learned today. Bretton Woods moment.
Yeah, the Federal Reserve can, they can print money whenever they want, correct.
I first want to thank Dr. Ernest Kwamina Addison for his excellent...
International Monetary Fund.
Hey,
Whoa.
G, when you make trades with US 30, can I make symphony plays with US 500? You could take similar trades. It's not exactly the same, but if you're already taking the trade on US 30, you could just take another position on US 30. I don't understand the advantage of taking like a mirror trade on SPY.
Yeah, those don't work most times.
Yeah, it's just continue with US 30.
All right, we got what, 40 minutes left for NFP here? 40 minutes. Gold is at that retest area here.
Guys, thank you very much for the week. Thank you, Jeevan. Thank you, Mac. Thank you, Rakeel.
Yes, sir.
No worries.
Yeah, thank you so much for this week. Take care, stay safe, stay strong.
Take care, take
care,
care.
bro.
Good, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wakanda. Oops.
You see, man, Mac, it's always, man. That's...
What's this? GJ 1 hour chart. GJ respect bearish trend line since London Open. Yeah. Rejecting, waiting for a solid candle to close below 135 or 490. Yes, that's exactly what we were talking about here too, like sells below this area here. But since it's now currently ranging right now, it gets very difficult. If you're looking for buys, I think buys above 135.860 would be much better because you got a cleaner range up over here. What are your thoughts? What are your buy stops and where are your buy stops and sell limits for NFP? They're not here yet. I woke them up. I think their alarm is not working right now, so they'll be up here very soon.
I'm gonna say they're on the mail.
They're on the mail with the ballots.
With the ballots.
Still counting. Wait for it next
Still
month.
counting.
They're coming.
For an NFP next month.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
That was a 1 minute chart. That was rejections on a 1 minute chart, not 1 hour.
Yeah.
No, 1 minute, yeah.
Yeah. That guy said. He was looking at the 0.500 rejections.
Yeah. That's good.
7:50. All right, guys, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna get some coffee.
This guy's going outside. I said, get some coffee.
You are the first person who said it, Jeevan. Nobody have said anything.
No way, you guys
In
don't
the
say
last
anything?
2 years, no.
Yeah, right.
These guys just accept it. They're like, okay,
I don't even think this guy drinks coffee.
We already know the fact, but
Yeah.
we never said anything like that.
No, it's a Friday. On Friday, what happens is,
Friday,
yeah, I put the coffee in brew while the coffee is being made.
Brew. I said the coffee on brew.
Yeah, man, I got that thing, that machine that actually
We need
brews the
Monty
coffee.
here. We need Monty here. Coffee break. Where's Monty then? Gotta get him for the guest appearance next time. Yeah. Now that you mention it, my coffee also. I just heard get ready. I'll be back in 5 minutes before New York Open here.
All right, cool. Same.
Coffee and nerves. Mac, go get your coffee, man.
Man, there's so much secrets being told now.
Oh man, these guys, they're part of the secret society.
So now we're gonna have some side bets. Me and you in Formula One now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man.
I didn't know.
Bro.
You were a Max fan.
Yeah, big time.
Good.
Mac already knew.
What?
I'm a Formula One fan.
Oh yeah.
I'm already ready for next weekend.
Yeah. Monty is a big fan too.
Oh yeah? Nice. Yeah, I'm a little crazy about it. I got all my website open and I check everything, you know, all the drama. You watch the Netflix series?
Yes, I did.
It's well
Yeah, I
done.
watched some multiple on that.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. It's really a good series.
Yeah, I agree with that. Before I go, the vote. I don't even think anybody's votes matter. That's a conspiracy of mine. The war stuff wasn't a conspiracy, but I don't think anybody's votes matter. I think it's just for like you have to understand this presidential election is probably getting more views than the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every single day on different every single station, right? Being watched for like hours a day. This nonsense back and forth, all this drama. It's just like a big show in my opinion. I think they already know who the president's gonna be. But yeah, I'll be back too. That's one of my conspiracies though.
Yeah.
The war stuff, that's just real life. You guys, I don't know why you guys think war is fake. Daniel actually reached out. He watched the London streams we do, and he actually gave props. So I have to give him that common respect. I have to give Daniel Savage that common respect. He came in the London stream, even though we roast him and call him hairline. He still stuck through. He still stuck through, and he gave common respect. He gave a shout out. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave this guy alone for now. Protein P though, that's a different story. I don't know about that guy. I'll be back.
Sheet metal.
Protein P, PP, double P. Sheet metal man and double P. Those guys are a different story. I don't know about that. P squared. I wouldn't buy GJ unless it comes above 0.800. I'm looking to sell below 0.500 or buy above 0.800. Right now it's just ranging in about like a 13 pip range in the lower time frames, and we have New York Open in 6 minutes as well. The safer buys on GJ would be a clean break above 0.800, and you could ride that up 20 pips to 136 and potentially up to 136.2. That's if the NFP is good. It can give a bit of weakness to the Japanese yen, and that's also if we fail to break below 135.5. That would show at the New York Open candle, if GJ pushes down to 0.500 and it fails to break again and then starts to flip bullish, that would show a lot more sellers exhaustion at those lows and at that psychological price level. And then if we have that candle flip bullish and the NFP is good to bring a little bit of short-term optimism to weaken the yen, and we come above 0.800, that'd be safe buys on GJ. Otherwise, in this 13 pip range towards the end of the week, we still have a mixed sentiment elections, and we have to see how the NFP report comes out. I would only take sells below GJ at this point at a clean break below 0.500, and I'd only take the buys if we see that exhaustion at 0.500 and flip above 0.800. And I'd just be following those psychological price levels because they follow the quarter point theory. between larger 100 pip ranges on GJ. If you backtest 0.00, 0.200, 0.500, and 0.800, you'll notice on the lower time frame you get a lot of good reactions at these price points on GJ specifically. So that's why.
I have a question, Jevon. You said 0.200, but isn't 0.250? You don't check 0.250?
No, so that's the actual correct quarter points is what you said, 0.250, 0.500, 0.750. But on GJ specifically, over the last couple of years of back testing it, I've noticed better reactions at the whole round numbers, like the zeros of 0.200, 0.500, and 0.800. So that's why I was just saying it follows the quarter point theory to an extent, but just specifically on GJ, I've noticed better reactions at those price points. But yeah,
That's
like you're like the straight bare bones quarter point theory, like you're correct. It's like 0.250, 25 pips ranges. But yeah, so if at the New York Open we create a lower wick and fail to break 0.500, then flip bullish and come above 0.800, we would get that 20 pip squeeze up to like 136 at least. It'd be pretty safe as well. But otherwise, in this 15 pip range we're in, we're just consolidating and generating order flow and liquidity if you looked at it on the lower time frames. So the safest sells would be below 0.500. But yeah, Rakeel's back, so now I'm gonna take my turn. He can talk for a bit. I didn't want to leave it silent, you know.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's also just coincidental that we're rejecting 135,500. That psychological area right there. Oh, 200, 500, 800 institutional levels. Yeah, that could be it. I really don't believe that we as retail traders, we know where institutions trade. I think we have an idea. So I think that's where those ideas come from, that certain things or institutions are here or they're doing this and that. So I think those ideas come from just based on assumptions, which probably they are true, but I don't believe that that's 100% fact. You know, but it still works to some extent. Looking at a Democratic president, I noticed that indices move more stable during the period of Obama and a Democrat president before that, assuming the volatility continues. Yeah, the big difference was that this time around we have the virus too, right? So that's also going to affect the economy a lot. So there's a lot of other variables that are in play at this time as well. But I think it's going to be very interesting. You know, traded the market during Republicans, now going to trade the market during Democrats. 4 more years. 4 more years.
That GE is about to do something stupid because I didn't take this trade yet, but it may take small sells.
Yeah, needs to break below 135,500.
Yeah. Thing is, I'm looking at the 1 hour candle, so yeah.
It's still doji.
Yeah. Looks like continuation, but I want to see some sort of closing on this 1 hour around 135, 500. But it's a strong level right there, man.
Gold is also coming down. It's like kind of like wicking into this area below 1950. It's interesting because if it wicks below here, then there's the next support at 1945. So this NFP, see, if NFP is bad. If next candle was the NFP candle, I would have my buy stop above this candle here. Oh, this is a new candle starting now. All right, really gonna have to see where this candle closes. Because if this candle closes, wherever it closes, I'm gonna have a buy stop above this candle and a sell stop below that candle. Probably have
what if it whiplashes?
Yeah, if it whiplashes, then take a buy stop gets activated, a loss on that, and then a sell stop get activated, a loss on that. That has happened in the past. We were on the live stream, then I was like, okay, buy stop here, sell stop here. Boom, both got activated. Buy stop got activated with the spread, and sell stop got activated because it whipsawed. And then I'm like, oh shit. That was not fun. Can you please check my trade and say what I would have done better here? Alright, let's take a look here. Okay, so you had an entry after this candle closed bearish. Close 50% after break of the pre-15-minute candle. Close fully right over here. Yeah, I was watching that too. I closed this in a minor loss as well. And then I took another one right down over here, and then I closed that in a minor loss as well. Yeah, the 5-minute candles weren't just breaking down. Yeah, one was right over here. Once we closed down over here, the 30-minute candle closed, and the 7 a.m. candle started here, took a sell. But, you know, I saw 5 minutes, saw support right over there as well. So in my head, I was like, okay, it can go down, but I mean, this candle's closing bullish. It's not closing in my favor. And also, like, you know, this candle closed burst, so really anticipated this to continue down, but the 5-minute candles weren't really closing in our direction. So it didn't make any sense to hold that, and rather just to wait for that low to break now at 135,500. When you place a stop order on gold, how many pips is stop loss? I'm thinking about 20. See, the thing about sell stops and buy stops is normally I'm going to use sell stops and buy stops because you're really expecting price to just move through that area. You know, if you're going to have a, let's say, if you're going to have a buy stop at 1955 and that's going to be above the high of the previous candle here, let's say you have a buy stop here and price gets activated, you're really expecting price to continue moving with volume. Also considering the fact that we have a resistance formed at 1956, so you're really anticipating that volume to activate the buy stop and continue on through the zone to continue moving bullish. You know, at the same time, if you're going to have a sell stop below this candle right here, then you're anticipating price to just continuously move through that area. You know, that's why, I mean, I think buy stops and sell stops should be used, you know. But if your buy stops does get activated and price moves down, then at that point, I'm just closing the trade. I'm getting out of the trade at that point. Same goes for sell stops, you know, if they get activated. Because, I mean, if they get activated and you come down in a drawdown, then there's likely that move up was just like a, you know, whipsaw. Like price just whipsawed up to come down and go the other way. So,
we did call this little retest at least, though. Let's see the reaction.
Yeah.
If it breaks above 53, it's going to go up. If it breaks above that candle body high,
yeah, look at
1953, it'll continue up because... especially if the US dollar turns bearish.
See, if okay, here's the thing. If we've made a high at 1956 here, right? And if this candle closes bullish before NFP, I think the next NFP candle can continue on. So you're right.
Revisit that high at least.
Yeah, exactly. At least this high. This could be a very good highlight if that plays out.
So we called that retest, the pullback to those previous highs. Now if it creates a support here, it looks like it's starting to create a lower time frame support. Above 53, it's going right back to the highs.
Oh yes.
Let's see it. New York already opened. What's GJ looking like on the hourly?
GJ's in that
range. We did have a couple of rejections on the hourly at 0.500.
Yeah, but it's more like that continuation for the sells, to be honest.
Yeah, still looks pretty weak, the bullish move. That's why the safer buys currently be like above 0.800 area, 0.7, 0.8, you know?
You know, GJ has created the low, and I think it's creating like some price action to continue up to do like a retest. To continue down,
make a lower high and continue down.
Or if we break below here before we make a lower high, then that could be the continuation too. I really think gold should make me a couple $1,000 today.
Yeah.
It should behave.
That retest was a good entry to be like that's already at least up 20 pips.
Yeah. But the thing with gold is you never know how deep it's going to do a retest.
You can always check I usually check like the lower time, like if you look at the lower time frame structure, you don't like the 1 minute.
No, I don't like the 1 minute.
Yeah, but if you look at the 1 minute, you can see exactly where the pullback is going to be when you draw like a bullish structural trend line. But
bro, when I look at the 1 minute, my insides just start turning and twisting.
If I can annotate right now,
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
How do I do it?
Okay.
right now, like what we're seeing is reactions at those previous highs, right? We're starting to see some minor sellers exhaustion, but you can see on the 1 minute, you have been respecting this minor bearish trend as well. That's why I said if we could see a shift in the structure, even if we come back down to retest these lows, then fail to break and show more sellers exhaustion, then come above 1953 in this minor structure, you're going to get that squeeze up to retest those previous highs because you're getting a shift in the lower time frame bearish structure and you're still respecting like the intraday bullish structure, but you have to validate some sellers exhaustion first. And the sellers exhaustion and sellers closing off their orders will be validated by either getting a break above like these 1 minute highs around 53 in this minor bearish structure, or first getting the double bottom, failing to break these lows that were already created, showing sellers are closing their orders and buyers are jumping in, and then getting that break and retest to shift in structure and follow the intraday bullish structure, right?
Yeah.
I like to use the lower time frame just to look at structure where we can get potential reaction.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, this makes complete sense to me. I understand this 100%, right? But when you have a new trader, you know, and you're drawing zones and you're drawing the structures, like for a new trader, I think that's very overwhelming. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I can't. All you're watching is like, so like right now, right now gold is very bullish, right? On the intraday, gold is very bullish. This is what we call a corrective phase so far, in a pullback to get more buyers in the market to continue the overall upside move. But what you want to validate is, when is this pullback phase going to be completed? You validate that by getting a shift in this structure and getting a break out of the minor bear structure, and then having more buyers into the market, like we're starting to see right now, coming towards 1953, right? So that's why I was saying, like, at this retest area where we started to notice sellers starting to exhaust, and this we have to understand, in the intraday trend, we're bullish on gold. A high has been created. This is just a pullback and corrective phase. So once we have a break of this structure and a retest, and we fail to break these lows, it's just showing more sellers exhaustion, a shift into buyers momentum to follow the current intraday trend, and then go to revisit those highs, of course, right? So
so you know, you want to take 1 second?
Everyone said the gulag won't understand though.
I was trying to say something because remember the picture I sent you guys with the gold buys based on 1 minute. This morning I saw this candle closing above all these wicks. Man, I took the sniper entry just right there, and the stop loss was
like that squeeze up, right?
Yeah, was right here. Man, in 2 minutes I was already in 20 pips in profit, but it was a risky trade. But I knew what I was doing, you know. So I was expecting to come basically a 1957 was my target. Man, but this thing continued flying. So
that was a good trade though, Kerwin, because you're having such a bullish impulsive move. Like the lower time frame momentum is very bullish. This is just like an order block or an area where quick liquidity is being generated and buyers are jumping in the market. And as soon as, like you said, you cleared those candle body highs, those buyers that were generating into the market here created that next impulsive squeeze move, and you banked out on that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So right now we just see this minor bear structure here that we're starting to react, and we can say that this was the pullback phase and buyers jumped in the market, and we noticed sellers exhaustion around 1949. If we come back down to create a higher low, and we fail to retest or break below this previous low, and then we come back above this minor bear structure, man, we're gonna go right back to the highs again, right? Like, we're just starting to shift into some bullish structure, validate that the pullback phase on gold is coming to an end, and then we'll continue the move back up to follow the intraday trend, as long as the US dollar also stays weak. But you can see right now, some buyers and sellers are reacting at that retest of the bear structure on the lower time frame, right? So
see that move down, which you talked about, it could be the 30-minute closing bullish, and the next one pumping down to continue move bullish.
Yeah, to create that potential lower wick, and then but that's that NFP candle too, so we'll see, right?
Yeah, that's the problem, because prior news, before the news got released, you don't know where gold can go. It
Right,
may
like
deep
that-
down,
that-
grab
that is-
liquidity, and just fly from there.
Yeah, that
But-
instant reaction it gets, like it's really hard to like see, where it's gonna break or.
It goes.
That's why.
poof,
That's
poof.
why. Like when I look at the 1 minute, you can see the price reactions at exact price points, right?
Mhm.
If you're gonna break these highs that buyers were struggling to break, you'll get that squeeze up to the upside, and then I told you guys, man, you guys could have got that retest. I told you guys is gonna retest the highs, the previous highs, and then take a buy, but nobody want to listen. Everybody's like, oh, this guy's talking conspiracy theories.
Oh, man.
Now I'm up 40. Now I'm up 40 pips, and I can leave it risk free. And everybody else looking.
1 minute is dangerous.
But yeah, we'll see if it breaks above the structure, it creates a double bottom. It fails to break the lows, these previous lows that were created, then we're for sure going to continue back up. But now it just depends on NFP.
Yeah, we should go up, back up. We should, because they're expecting bad numbers here anyway. And ADP was way worse than expected. Where was
Everybody
it?
told me don't show them the 1 minute.
Yes.
The gulag won't understand the one. You guys can, if you guys want to know how I use like that 1 minute price action alongside like market structure, investor behavior, and everything else, you could just watch
Scalping 101.
Yeah, you could just watch the live streams, right? You just watch the live streams.
Tuesday and Wednesday?
Tuesdays and Thursdays, yeah.
Tuesday, oh yeah, Tuesday and Thursdays.
And the same thing, the price action concepts, the reactions of buyers and sellers. I mean, it works on any pair, like currency index, same thing. So,
Hey guys, you think it's good time to sell gold? Black soul? Probably not.
I gave the gulag straight buys, and nobody wanted to listen to me. And look, well, we went right back to revisit the high.
Straight move to 1956 over here.
You're welcome, Matt.
got-
You're welcome for the call. Plus 40 pips. Me too. But I'm gonna secure before NFP just in case.
Ooh, look at that. Hasman also got the buys. Very nice.
You're welcome, Hosman. You're welcome.
Now, that's it.
Nice.
That's it. You got those buys. You secure
It's still
profits.
going.
And you call it a day after that.
Yeah, 15 minutes to NFP now as well.
56, 57. Would you place a buy stop on gold? We'll see. We'll see. Just before the 30-minute candle closes, I'm going to give it out.
I'm just going to leave a runner right now, risk-free. I closed 40 pips.
The people here is learning and getting profit. Oh, yes. This is what happens on Fridays, you know, when we have good guests on.
I can't believe these guys called war conspiracy. Let's see the US dollar. US dollar still looks weak. I'm looking at the dollar index. It's still bearish on the intraday, but it's just peaked the 92.26 lows. They're like 2-month lows it's at. So the dip might get bought up here, but other than that.
Man, with this news coming bad and what's happening right now, and with the elections and the virus, oh man, gold will continue moving bullish. Gold should continue moving bullish. I mean, if we look at,
if anybody took the like a 1953 buys as well, like you're up 20 pips on that too. You can secure that before NFP.
look at this, 1965, easily reachable if the weekly candles continue pushing. Easy, 1965. That's like 100 pips away. Can you get an NFP 100 pip candle? Holy.
Oh yeah, man. $10, that's nothing for gold at this point. $20.
Yeah. No, this thing moved like $40 yesterday. Can you?
Too many nightmares with NFP, man. That's why as soon as we got that upside 40 pip move, I took that, man. I'm not gonna play games on a Friday. Just in case NFP comes out amazing, you know what I mean? Trump says it's because of him. Because
this is the gold buy I had yesterday from 1907 till right here. That's that's where I closed.
Holy, wait, the 5 lot, bro. Imagine you had like 500 pips on. It would have been 30K trade.
Yeah, I know. I looked at that yesterday. I'm like, oh, this could have been 20,000, and then later 30,000.
Yeah. And I got like only 120 pips yesterday. Basically $12 move on gold, coming from London through New York. It was a beautiful move.
Oh, it was a blessing move over there. I mean, these times, they don't come often enough. Your election time, I mean, every 4 years, I mean, yeah. Happy belated birthday, Kervin. We had a big celebration yesterday for Kervin.
Oh, yeah. was amazing. The gulag went wild.
The entire gulag came in Zoom with them mics on and their cams on.
Kervin had some crazy offers for his birthday.
Oh man,
offers, yeah.
Don't even remember that. No, it was crazy. To be honest, the gulag is crazy, man.
Ooh, look at this. Someone bought gold at the break of the 15-minute high. Let's take a look at this. Oh, nice. At 51, you're up 30-40 pips at this point.
Yeah, if you also bought, I told you guys at 53, you're up like at least 20 pips though.
At least 20 pips.
But if you bought the retest, like if you bought the previous high retest where that lower time frame support was made, you're up like 50, 60 pips.
50, 60 pips.
Right?
Crazy moves on gold.
Yeah.
This volatility was in April, March. You know, it did really well in those months. Because, like, man, like, look at these 5-minute candles. Big candle. Look at this. Like, 15 pip candles, another 15, 20 pip candle over here.
Yeah. Puma, don't think about what you could have held or what you could have made. Think about what you could have lost. You guys like that? Good psychology.
Damn.
Yeah. See, too many traders think about what more they could have made, but they never think about what they could have lost.
Yeah, I'm always thinking about how much I can lose all the time.
That's what keeps you more disciplined, in my opinion, in like neutral mindset.
Yeah. Also, I think if you're cheap by nature, you're always gonna look at how much you're gonna lose. Yeah, because if I'm in a trade and I know that in this trade I'm gonna lose, let's say $50, you know, I'm always gonna make sure, okay, I lose less than $50. You know, I don't have to lose $50. You know, could lose less than that. Frugal. Yeah.
But yeah, after this NFP release, I'm gonna let you guys get to it. Thanks for having me on and everything. Appreciate it. Good times on a Friday.
All right, we got 10 minutes left here. If this could come down to 1952, if it can close down there, then I'm gonna have buy stops at like 1955, 70. 1955, 70. Or sell stops below this candle. Raja, can Kervin be the next guest? Okay, Kervin, can you be a special guest one day? Maybe wear a special hat or a shirt. I don't know.
I'm here
Special
every day, man.
I'm here every day.
That's not special.
You just gotta wear something special.
I'm here every day. Ask whatever you want.
We got 9 minutes left over here. 9 minutes left. They're looking at 595 from 661. Previous NFP was bad. Wow.
Doing that pullback on this 5 minute. I closed my buys, so I have a risk-free runner. Worst case, it will get taken out. But if it does come down, but
100 pip NFP candle.
NFP hasn't been that crazy though since like the pandemic market. There's been a couple.
Yeah.
But it's not like how it used to be before coronavirus. NFP was crazy.
Oh, it used to be. It used to be like a one straight shot.
Yeah.
That's it. One swift move you get for about 3 seconds, 4 seconds.
It retested 1953 right now.
All right, is it retesting this area here? Yeah, 1953.
Right? All you guys in gold? You guys are taking full margin gold sells?
Gold sells?
These guys are in the gulag, but I closed the buy.
It's the gulag, man.
Gulag
Don't worry.
Gulag trolls you sometimes too.
Yeah.
See, people in Gulag have gotten so good that then they now troll in a very smart way.
I think they're dead serious. That 1953 retest was beautiful. I was telling you guys that was a sweet spot. If it continues up from here, though, let's see. It's still 8 minutes. I thought it was coming up right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, still 8 minutes here. Bring in Forex broker killer. I can't.
Gonna kill it.
It's gonna kill something.
He's gonna kill all the brokers. This dude, his name is the Forex broker killer.
Oh, that retest was 53 was nice. You guys took those buys? Sniper gang buys? Refugees? You guys take those buys?
Just sell GJ, man.
I know you guys took those 53
gold.
buys, refugees. Keep it risk-free though for NFP.
GJ might play out here too.
Yeah, look at those wicks.
Just gotta come below this area.
The wicks to the upside.
Yeah.
But if the NFP is good, it's gonna weaken the yen a bit. This might just be grabbing liquidity to the downside. If you guys think, wait, you guys think the NFP is gonna be bad or good?
I'm gonna have buy stops and sell stops, so it doesn't really matter if it's
True.
good or bad. But it should be bad. I mean,
gold's about to go before.
Exactly. Like, price action on gold.
Yeah, you can miss this.
Price action on gold means, hey, we're bullish and we need to go bullish.
Especially if you break that high for a safer buy stop. That's true.
It's gonna be crazy. Why doesn't any Instagram people, they talk about NFP here? No one really gives any information on it. Like if you look at all the main, like KenFX does. Like, to
Matt
some
hates
extent.
this guy.
Oh man, come on, he's a nice guy.
Yeah,
We had him
I
on the
hate
live stream.
this guy. How's it going, folks? Here we are. All right, Brexit.
Baby.
Yeah, 5 minutes left. I think I'm just gonna leave it risk free. I'm not gonna take no risks here.
Ew.
What's that, bro?
Some weird stuff on Instagram, man. Main traders won't notice how 3 pushes of pullback to support gives a reversal for price to continue pushing with the current trend, vice versa. Oh, the 3-touch rule? The 1, 2, 3 touch? Stephen FX Wealth. Yeah, I think it's the 3-touch rule. Wow, so I have to say this 1 minute thing has opened my eyes really clear. I really liked it, and I'll backtest it. Cheers. Beautiful. Yeah, see, there's always something to learn. All right, we have 4 minutes. 4 minutes and 42 seconds. It's going to be a bad NFP. Like, look at this trend over here. NFP is running in a bearish trend. If you were to plot a chart on NFP, look at this. Went from 2.5 million to 4.8 million, down to 1.7, 1.3, 600,000.
Yeah, they expect 600K. Previous was 660.
I think this will be in around 400s.
I'll tell you exactly at release.
Oh, okay, exactly at release. I'll take that.
But if anybody took that gold 53 retest, you're up 30 pips already.
Again.
Yeah. Perfect retest.
By the way, just for the record, I haven't taken any trades. I'm just... Ooh, wow, look at that. Yeah, I'm not in any trades. I'm just watching.
Crazy, man.
Right?
Very nice. Yes.
It's retested the high over here.
1 minute.
Shit.
No, for like new traders, it's very overwhelming. Like the 1 minute.
It is.
It's extremely overwhelming. Extremely overwhelming.
That's true.
It like pulls them into the state of overtrading and madness.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, psychology-wise, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
Like you need to be really good and experienced to do that, and really quick. Like 1 minute is quick decisions.
Thank you.
Yeah. 1 minute. We got 3 minutes here.
I'm closing, to be honest. I'm just gonna take it. I'm closing everything. I don't know. This is looking fishy. You know, I don't want to do
Leave
a
it
full.
there, man. Leave it there.
Yeah, just leave it there. Trust me. Leave it at break even.
Just 25%.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just gonna put like a 10 pip stop and profit.
No.
Nah, come on.
Yeah, leave it for the glory, man.
Open your heart a little bit. Open the heart just a little bit. Just like how I am.
I think this is gonna melt down to my entry, then flip back.
Yeah, it always does that.
Because you know what's gonna do a liquidity grab or some whipsaw, man.
See, what I'm gonna do is, hold on. I'm gonna have a buy stop at 1957.
Yeah, Robert, you're right. I'm gonna close. It's gonna slip at BE and then go back up after. Yeah, for sure. Whipsaw coming with NFP because keep in mind we have NFP and the unemployment, so we need both to be bad if we want that boost, right? Otherwise, if it's mixed data, then that's what causes the whipsaws. Most people, when they're trading NFP, they forget about the unemployment rate release at the exact same time, and most of the time when those reports are conflicting, one is good, one is bad, that's what creates the technical whipsaws you start to see. But hopefully both are just one-sided. Let's see in like 1-2 minutes here.
All right, boys. So I have a buy stop at 1957.25, and I have a sell stop at 1952.50.
Yeah, anyone who caught the 49 retest buys or the 53 retest buys, just leave it risk-free. Don't risk it.
All right.
Just set it risk-free, and then we'll see what happens.
All right, gulaggers.
Don't be a hero today.
Yeah, don't be a hero on Friday. Don't ruin your weekend.
Yeah.
You know? The refugees and the gulags.
The refugees. Mac Nation.
Mac Nation. This guy threw in his own Mac Nation. What the hell's Mac Nation,
you know
bro?
how it is. That's the...
Oh man, gold is about to fly.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Carmenito, don't jinx me, Carmenito.
No, trust, brother, trust.
Yeah, no, it looks good. It looks good.
Yeah.
1 minute here.
Fly. It's good. It's just gonna
probably
open
will be
the
a
spread
whipsaw.
really wide.
Yeah,
increased aftershock.
Increased my buy stop there because the spread may activate it.
Yes.
What? 1957?
Increased it to 57.70.
70. Fireworks.
Okay, here it comes.
All right.
Bye gold.
Oh, it's coming down.
Oh.
Wow.
It's expected to come down.
It's doing the
See, that's
pullback.
when you had your buys at
From
1950.
Put yourself risk-free. Put yourself risk-free.
Risk-free.
5 seconds. 5 seconds.
5,
4,
1954.
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
just
numbers
buy the
up.
share of gold, man.
Yo, unemployment rate is really good.
Oh.
NFP is good.
Oh, really?
It's good. Yeah. It's better than 638K, and the unemployment rate dropped by 0.6% almost. So this is gonna go down a little bit. Yeah, let's watch. It's best to stay out now. Stay out. It's good. NFP is good.
All right, perfect. Got 10 pips there.
Yeah,
chilling.
So I got activated.
Got it.
Closing
Lucky
50.
I closed before.
Ooh, nice.
Wow.
Got 10 pips. 12 pips actually.
The NFP was good. It's good.
Beautiful.
6.9% unemployment. 638K NFP.
It hit right on the spot.
Yeah.
Right on the spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Went right back down to that same low point.
Yep. Congratulations, everyone who got the buys earlier on, and you got these sells here. We literally gave free money here.
Yeah.
Five.
That could have just been, this could have been the liquidity grab. If it goes back up, and you guys told me to hold break even, this is about to fly.
Look at
about
this.
To fly. It looks like
Yeah.
It's playing around. We're playing around here.
Yeah.
You guys told me hold break even. What took me out break even?
I mean, if it breaks 1957, it's gone.
It's gonna go back up. Yeah, that was the grab. That was the grab. I don't want to jump in anything though. I closed. I'm out. I'm out.
Where did you guys put that buy stop? I mean the stop loss for the sell stop.
No stop.
It was on. It was on the X.
We called everything. We called the whipsaw.
It was on the X.
We called the buys. It's just playing around now, though.
Coin flip thing. No, this isn't a coin flip thing. There was news events. We had a sell stop at a very logical position. Price went down. Called out when we closed the trade.
I told you guys right at the release that it was
Exactly.
good. You know what I mean? Right at the second. It was good NFP. And it was good unemployment. The unemployment is way better. I'm surprised. I don't know how the hell these guys... It should continue back down, I think. If it breaks the 49 lows, it's just grabbing liquidity. But it's just messing around right now. I'm going to stay out of it.
But you get the news from the terminal, right?
Yeah, like right at that.
Because, man,
when I was doing the count.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was doing the count, it was like a couple seconds faster, right?
One tick, yeah.
Forex Factory, it's still in Macedonian.
It's still loading.
Yeah, exactly. Loading.
That's why I told you guys right away. NFP was good. I was like, unemployment's good. NFP is good.
Ooh, someone made $258 from the gulag.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Bottles on you.
Beautiful. Oh, US30 moved up? Oh, yeah, US30 did move up.
Because remember, I told you guys if NFP is good, then it's a positive impact on the stock market. But if it was bad, it would drop the stock market, US30. So
yeah,
that makes sense.
I think with
NYC on US30, if it breaks a retest 28,300 though above it, let's see.
With NYC open, this US30 should continue moving bullish.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take some time for the news to get absorbed into the market.
And then the stock market open, all those investors are going to jump in the buys because the unemployment rate's good, jobs data's good. Gold's about to dump right now, and NFP and the US30 is about to push hard up.
Holy.
And somebody made 576 fire.
Very nice.
All right, though,
Give it a
guys.
like.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Fun times, everybody.
Yo, enjoy your weekend.
Should I come every NFP? Give you guys a live
Yeah.
release and everything?
Man. Yeah, sure.
Do it?
You're always welcome.
I'll come on the I'll come on the Fridays.
Come through.
Thank you for
Any
having
day
me.
you want.
Fun times.
It's lit.
Gulag refugees, take care.
Man, don't call them refugees.
That's what, they don't mind it. Trust
And
me.
I'm trying to get some likes in here, bro. I'm trying to get some likes in here, bro. And they're getting mad.
Man, you're gonna have people changing their name now for
Get some likes
FX
for
refugee,
Jeevan.
you know?
The refugees.
The refugees, imagine, man.
That's hilarious. No, it's pretty good NFP. Pretty blessed.
Yeah. It's really good.
It moved up, came down, and I was like, should I leave it open? And then it got activated. I'm like, okay, I guess. Let's just see what happens. Like, so move down, like around 700, 800, closed it. Boom. Very quick.
Yeah.
Wow, they're still taking the sweet ass time over here. Nothing came out. Ooh, employment situation 2020. They rose in October. Why do they have such bad news then? Why did ADP data was 360,000, from 650 expected? So much manipulation and lying. Can you explain your stop loss and the sell stop? I had no stop loss. There was no stop loss. It was just like mentally, if it did go in a drawdown, would have just closed the position right there. Ooh, US30 is still pumping. June was right. If we break above 28,360, we should continue moving bullish here. Good NFP as well. Man, crazy. My profit was from $80 to $25. NFP got me. Well, if you lost that much, then that means you prepared for that loss, right? I mean, that should what basically mean. Let's take a look at your JPY here. Your JPY is also trying to move up here. But wow, this move was crazy. 1952.50 all the way down over here. Ooh, oh, it actually moved 30 pips here. Gold should go down later today, as US results should come in today, and that will give the dollar a boost. I think before the result comes in, gold should continue moving up because of the uncertainty. So I mean, just the way we're moving up, I mean, if we look on the 30-minute candle, the 30-minute, this candle didn't really break the low of the previous 30-minute candle. And if it didn't break the low, then it should continue moving bullish. And if you break the high here, there's a very high probability the gold should continue moving on. Let's look at the 15-minute here as well. Let's go down to the 1-minute here. What do you see, Mac? Mac, what do you see over here?
Where?
Here on the 1 minute. Oh, we're breaking.
Oh, on gold, we're breaking.
Yeah, we're breaking, man.
I'm not on any trades.
Let's measure this candle here. Oh wow, man, this 1 minute candle is 10 pips.
But if you go on the 1 minute on your broker, you could probably see spikes. Like it's probably gonna be empty spaces.
Yeah. Wow, this 1 minute candle is pushing 16 pips over here. 17. Oh, 20 pips.
Wow. That's it. It's Gonzo.
Yes, Gonzo is breaking 1957. We're going to 1960 here, boys. Wow.
What is that trade? And caught it right at the retest of 1949. Blessed.
You know, if you caught gold from 1882, you're blessed. There's someone who got gold from
1982? Oh.
1882.
Oh my God. He's still holding.
Yeah, you're still holding. Okay. Why is gold bullish? NFP was higher. I think the reason for that is because of the other fundamental events that are happening. They're more important than the NFP result here. I think that's the reason why gold is still pushing up, because there's a lot of uncertainty. I think first when gold was ranging here within this range, that was because of the NFP. They were waiting for what the result's going to be. So once the result is out, it seems like the other fundamental things that are happening, you know, like the things with the virus now and uncertainty around the vaccine and you know, the elections. So that's why we're seeing a push.
Too late, baby.
Too late for what?
No, for my buys on gold, because I was about to take buys on gold, but too late. The moment I measured my stop loss was like 30 pips. Too much.
Oh yeah, too much. Maybe right over here.
That's too much.
That's just risky.
Yeah, but you know, aiming for at least 1960 to 1965. No, it's not worth it. Wow.
This would be a good day on gold. There's always 5 moves per day in the last week. Yes, I think your next move is going to be coming closer towards NYC Open. It's going to start on moving. NFP bringing some optimism, weakening JPY and USD. Equities strengthening. Cognitive ability is key in 1 minute charts. Yes. GJ buys about 135.850. Let's take a look over here. 850, yes, absolutely. You have clean candles here, that would make much more sense. But still, like, it's a Friday here. I'm gonna head off over here. It's 8:40 a.m.
Bye.
Calling it a day. Bye, Mac.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one. Have a good one.
Bye, Raja.
Have a good
Bye,
weekend.
everybody.
Man,
Man, you too.
I really hope no one just sits on the charts now, after some moves, and especially after 10 a.m. and just keeps looking for trades. I hope no one does that. Because it really hurts me when people do that and they lose profits. I mean, it's just so sad. You work so hard.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, talking about working hard. What's this? So I saw this morning, when Ted posted about 1942. It seems like that it's sold out on a lot of places.
Yeah, here in Miami, it's really hard to get any 1942 tequila.
Why is that? Are people are they not making more of it?
Because of C word, maybe people are getting stocked with these tequilas, just to make sure they're gonna have enough supplies for the rest of the year. Because Christmas is around the corner, so most likely, if I was able to get like 2 or 3 bottles of that, I mean, it's a nice gift for anybody. If you have any Latino friends, that's a nice gift. So let's say you spend around $500, you get 3 bottles. That's good. I mean, in Canada, it's really expensive. It was 500 Canadian dollars.
Yeah,
like
400, 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sold out everywhere. That's why.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
But it's really good, man. You already know.
I already know, man. It's so smooth. Seen a lot of commercials on YouTube. It's very smooth.
Yeah.
Very smooth tequila. All right, I'm gonna head off over here. Have fun. Take care.
Peace out. Be careful with gold. Don't do anything stupid.
Tomorrow we're gonna have an IG live with Sacha, and I'm gonna have my shisha, and I'm gonna sit right over there on that couch.
Nice.
Yes, got my little setup now for IG lives.
Shisha with Raja.
Yeah. Shisha with Raja. Yeah. All right, everyone. Take care.
Take care, man. Be good, my friend.
Be good. Be good. Adios.
Adios, amigos. Andale.
All right, andale, refugees and gulaggers.
The more you said it, the more I like it.
I know, right? Refugees.
Yeah.
Like his YouTube channel. Welcome, refugees.
Yeah.
Saving you from the scams of the world.
We're gonna do a poll if they wanna be called refugees or gulag people. Refugees is nice.
Yeah, it's a nice name, refugees.
Yeah.
Someone is saying buy gold, buy gold, buy gold.
Yeah, I wanna turn off my computer because I'm about to do something stupid buying gold right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know it's not gonna work. It's too much.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave as well. Can't be too greedy now.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Damn it, but looks good.
It looks super duper good. Looks good to go straight to 1962.
Yeah, trust. But no, man, forget about it.